No. Bon voyage. Have a great time.
That's what a lot of us would like to say to Daniel Jones. This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Oh, if the Giants, if we only had a quarterback, if the Giants decide to take a quarterback in the NFL draft, we've talked about it before, what happens if it isn't in the first round? What if there's a player, what if there's a moment, what if there's an opportunity to take someone that the Giants feel is better than any quarterback that they have high on their board? We don't know their board yet. We have no idea. There was some speculation that J.J. McCarthy has a first-round grade by the Giants. That'd be like grading Daniel Jones a first-round pick back in 2019. We know how that worked out. Oh, but, you know, let's just say Jaden. Also, let's go with the fact that maybe everyone's gone. Maybe they're not in love with Penix. Maybe they're in love with Caleb, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. And let's say these three go 3 in a row within this first round. It's a possibility. So the thought process would have to be: we need to make a shift. We need to swing the pendulum in a different direction, and maybe that's grabbing a day 2 guy, maybe grabbing somebody in the second round, or just grabbing somebody.
That's what she said.
I had to say that just so I could push that button.
That's what she said.
So you know, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little bit of a series. And I don't know, maybe it'll be a 3-part series. Maybe it'll be a 2-part series. Hell, maybe this will be the only one in the series. No, it'll at least be a 3-part series. And these are going to be the day 2 quarterbacks, who the Giants could potentially select in day 2, potentially into day 3. But we're going to try to keep it within the second round. Now, the first player that comes to my mind immediately, if Penix doesn't drop, because there are some people that think he's going to take a serendipitous drop. But let's say he doesn't drop. Let's say he goes in the first round. Let's say he goes in the first half, or maybe in the latter half of the second round. Giants are going to have to find a quarterback. So the first guy I want to start with is probably one of the people that are just one of the guys that are just kind of they're an enigma in this draft. You don't know really what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates, and then, of course, that's going to be Bo Nix. You know, from Auburn to Oregon. You know, and I'm going to say this before. I've said it before a million times. It's on the thumbnail. This isn't your Auburn Bo Nix. Not at all. He is a different player. He is a different quarterback. He still has some of the similar tendencies, but he is a different guy. But before you talk about any of this, you have to go through one mindset. You cannot discard his first 3 years, or his first 3 years of his career at Auburn. He was a guy that he had terrible accuracy. I believe he completed barely 59% of his passes, or it's 59.5% of his passes. So when he left Auburn and moved over to Oregon, it was one of those things that you were kind of just looking at it like, okay, well, this is a guy that couldn't cut it in Auburn. Now he's going to run over, to Oregon. It probably is going to be a little bit of the same thing. And he's going to be he may be a little bit different, maybe a little bit better, but it's going to be the same guy. But the offense between Auburn and Oregon are totally different. He excels, Nix, and this is what they did in Auburn in an RPO. He excels in that type of offense because of his mobility. And with that mobility, he has the ability, of course, to extend plays, get out from underneath the rush. When things break down in the pocket, he is able to basically have the understanding of where he needs to go with the ball. He is. If you take a look at his play at Oregon, he's a guy that he's a short passer. I think his average yard per catch, his average yards per target is 6.7. So it would be well below NFL average. It's below college average as well. But that's the type of style and the type of offense that Oregon runs. He is a guy, Nix, who understands that he is going to excel more in a quick pass type offense. He is going to do, like I said, the RPOs, quick screens. He's going to do, short passing game. He's going to do a little bit maybe of Seattle Seahawks, a little bit of 49ers type offense, and maybe a little bit of what the Giants have been potentially trying to run for 2 years, technically 4 years, going back to Jason Garrett. And that's what he excels in. He is a reliable dual threat quarterback. But let's talk about the good things about Bo Nix before we get into the bad things. And there are a lot of good things. There's also a lot of bad things. He's a 5-year starter. He's got plenty of experience. in college. One of the things I like about some of these college quarterbacks coming out, they have been starters for like 5 years. They're going the Kenny Pickett route. They're not going to do that one big season and then leave. They have been in school for an extended period of time. You look at the likes of Jaden Daniels, look at the likes of Penix. When I see Bo Nix, I see good arm strength. We've always said it before. He can make all the Sunday throws. He's athletic. And I think his athleticism is underrated. I don't think he gets the props that he should get for that. I think he's got, like I said, he's got the NFL arm. And he is in some regards at times, he is an athlete playing quarterback. And he's a guy that he's got the improv skills. He's got the skills to pay the bills in reference to making plays happen. We always talk about Daniel Jones as a point guard who can't create his shot. Bo Nix can't create his own shot. And like I said, he thrived in college with a quick passing game. And like I said, it's one of the he is a nice blend. And like I said, he's got that experience. He's got that ability. He has the ability to, like I said, to create with his legs. He's got his ability to what they want to do in the NFL now, a la like Lamar Jackson. That's what he's got. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson. I'm not even close to saying he's Lamar Jackson, but I'm saying Lamar Jackson can create on his own. He can do that as well. Bo Nix, that is. He's extreme, and I laugh because if you watched him at Oregon, he's extremely comfortable checking down. he's extremely comfortable doing that, and we know the Giant offense does that a lot. Yeah, they always say he's got that prototypical build at 6'2", 217. I like to see what he is at the combine. Is he? How many times have we said it? Is he college 6'2", which means he's more like 5'10"? But he does have the arm strength. He does. He really does. And he does have the ability to move with fluidity in the pocket. He's very accurate, and he's at his best, like I said, in the short to intermediate passes. He's got great awareness. He really does have great awareness in the pocket. He can, like I said, he can find. It's one of those things that Daniel Jones, you had to design a running play. Bo Nix in college can find his own scrambling lanes. He can find his own lanes to run. And that's why we talk about it. And he has the ability while he's running to deliver the ball downfield. And he, like I said, he can make those throws. He can make those big time Sunday throws. But with all of that being said, with all the physical traits that he has, that'll have, is he the Mike Mamula? Are scouts going to drool over all these traits? His arm talent, his strength, his creation capabilities. And like I said, these are the things you look at right away, though, on some of the things that are probably not, they're not in the check mark box of good. These are some of his weaknesses. The Oregon offense, is it more complex? Is it a scheme that is comparable to a NFL offense? No. Like I said, they relied on a lot of RPOs, a lot of checkdowns, a lot of screens, and occasionally they go deep, and that's only going to be against certain coverages. They played to the strength of Bo Nix, which in some regards did not help him mature as a quarterback and having the ability to go through his reads and go through his progressions. His football, if you watch in Oregon, his football IQ outside of what is in front of him, I'm not going to say is lacking, but sometimes I think he misses reads and he will struggle with his progressions. And it's one of those things that, like I said, this is a guy that, like you said, you could take in the second or third round. But he sometimes, like I said, he sometimes just struggles going through his progressions, so always throwing through his reads. But in this offense that he ran in Oregon, he didn't have to. A lot of it would be one read offense, kind of like what they did for Daniel Jones in 2019. And that's what you got to look at. And then you also have to worry about his footwork a little bit. He's a little bit clumsy at times with his footwork. And again, footwork is something you can teach. One of the things that I worry about Bo Nix is, if you actually watch him, I actually watch him going back to Auburn, he's very bouncy in the pocket. Sometimes he gets he gets you never want to say he gets flustered. Someone gets flustered in the pocket. You never want to say that, but he gets a little fidgety in the pocket when the rush is coming. And like I said, he doesn't have that 100% fluid motion that he can get away with having bad footwork. He kind of has a little bit of Mahomians in him in the fact that he could do, he could throw the ball different ways. He can throw it 3/4, he can throw it over the top, he could sidearm it. He could do all those things, but the problem is he doesn't have the footwork to overcome bad mechanics in reference to his throwing motion. And I think that has to be looked at immediately. And like I said, it's also one of the things, to me, the biggest things is going through his progressions. And he didn't have to do it a lot at Oregon. He a lot of times he was a one-read quarterback. He was a two-step, go back and throw the ball. And you throw the ball to a spot. And I worry about what they refer to a lot of times as his post-snap reads. But I worry sometimes about his pre-snap reads. Because if he's not able to recognize certain coverages, if he's not able to recognize when the defense is trying to do something, all the things that he can do physically go out the window. And you got to kind of look at it that way. That's why he's not a first round great. The two great years he had at Oregon these last 2 years have been fantastic, but he is just not that guy. He's not polished enough. And like I said, he is going to struggle with going through his progressions. He's going to need to develop. He's going to need to work on his football acumen or IQ. But if you put him in the style of offense that if you go back to last year, Clayton Tune, who went to the Cardinals, would have been a good backup for the Giants or a good guy to draft to learn if you were going to be running this system, because the system the Giants run, because that's what Clayton Tune did in college. Bo Nix does the same thing. The only difference is Bo Nix has the arm strength to make all the throws that you need to make on Sunday. He's got the big time arm. He really does. And he's athletic. In some ways, like I said, in some ways he is an athlete playing quarterback, but he's played quarterback now probably the rest of his life and going on 5 years, in college. So he should have this ability to make these reads. One thing you hear about him out of college, and I don't know if this is true because I can never tell. You can never tell because a lot of it comes from different scouts, that he lacks leadership in the huddle, but you never hear anyone say anything bad about him in college. It's kind of like the Kayvon Thibodeau thing. Kayvon Thibodeau, you heard rumblings, you heard rumors that he took a lot of plays off and he took a lot of series off in Oregon. And like I said, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. And then you get to the pros, and then not only does he take games off and he takes plays off, sometimes he takes weeks off. And I think if that was the case with Bo Nix, that would come out. I'm just worried because you saw what Daniel Jones has been in the pocket with a bad offensive line, that he gets like a deer in headlights. And I worry that, like I said, if you watch some of Bo Nix's film, he does get happy feet under pressure. He does. But the problem is this. He gets happy feet in regards to the fact that he wants to take off. He wants to run. Daniel Jones gets happy feet and it just gets demolished. Now, his passer completion percentage goes down exponentially when he's rushed. And he often hesitates on those deep throws. And he's got a very low completion rate in the deep ball targets. But the problem is this. At Oregon, they don't throw the ball deep a lot. So it's one of these weird things. It's a catch-22 thing that you're going to have to see the pro day. You're going to have to go to the combine. You're going to have to go to the individual workouts. You're going to have to get a better idea of what Bo Nix can be. Because like I said, he is agile. He does have fluid movement in the pocket. He sidesteps the pressure well at times. He can deliver the ball downfield, but he's going to be more consistent and he's very accurate with those short to intermediate passes. And he's got good awareness at times, like I said, of his own ability to scramble. But that is also the problem that he even when he is scrambling, it's not really a problem, but even when he is scrambling, he is consistently looking downfield to make the pass. But the problem is his accuracy drops exponentially on those deep throws. Like I said, it's a second to a third day pick. It's not someone that you're going to take in the first round. It's not someone that I think has that first round grade. But like I said, Bo Nix would be interesting. We're going to have another quarterback probably in the next couple days, not tomorrow. So you have to wait for that. And as always, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'd be awesome.